Hi there, my name is Amy and I am Make Art Ride Bikes. And today I would like to notify and clarify that downward dog is plank with your ass in the air. So to learn how to do a really good plank pose, I like to start at your rib cage. Your rib cage is the railway, your rib cage is the track for your shoulder blade is the train. In your downward dog, your shoulder blades are moving wide and strong on your back. They are not moving towards center. Your shoulder blades are wide on the back of your rib cage and they are pulled down as in the direction of your butt. So if you can make smart, strong ribs first, then you can persuade your shoulder blades to move over your rib cage. So that is my intention for the most part today. What I will get you to do to find your strong, solid rib cage that will treat like the tracks or the shelf for the shoulder blades is I will have you at home lace your fingers together like so. So tips of the fingers grip together, bind together. And then as you try to pry your hands apart, feel for, exaggerate, or notice maybe a bit of a squeeze at the armpit level of your body. And widen your rib cage out. Do allow it to blowfish to the left and to the right. So make yourself into an hourglass. Your rib cage lifts a bit off of your hips and then it goes wide. So narrow waist, big old wide rib cage. Do that for a few seconds. So if the muscles, your intercostals, your serratus anteriors, if they're a little sleepy, you might not feel much happening, but exaggerate. Over time, maybe you'll get a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a heat, or at least a struggle to do this. So it feels like you're doing something as you attempt to pull your fingers apart, getting those nice pull punch muscles working hard. Fingers pull apart, rib cage widens out. So recall that, or make that accessible. We'll use that again, that wide feeling in our rib cages. Now to get a very basic feeling of your lat muscles, which help with pulling your arm bones into a good spot, and just generally help with the tension that you want in downward dog, you'll just bring one arm out like you would for a plank pose, so just out from chest level with the wrist bent, the fingers really splayed. And then to kind of recreate what we did with the pulling of the fingers, let's try with a straight arm. Use your other arm to push down and against. So I'll turn to the side for a moment. I have one arm mocking a plank pose, and then I'm self-assisting. So I pull right down into the karate chopped index finger that I've provided for my arm to receive. In my body, that creates that nice wide muscular feeling in my rib cage on the single side that I'm working. And of course, this will naturally turn on tricep, lats. It is a lat pull down. So try that on both sides. Arm bone now involved as the arm pulls down. You're recreating the feeling of a wide muscular armpit or wide muscular rib cage. And then just do a plank pose from seated or kneeling like I am. Arms out from your shoulders, from your chest, I should say. Fingers bent back like they would be for any plank pose. Now, force your wrists, your elbows, your armpits down towards the floor. And then it's moving without moving as you pull your arms down as if they're being chopped, being karate chopped. They have something to fight against. Recreate that wide armpit, wide rib cage thing that you did here. If you want, you could actually bounce from pulling the fingers apart out in front of you like I'm showing you. And then planking the wrists, the arm bones down. So that should feel pretty difficult. It's pretty hard for me to do here. And then I'll get you to look at me as I pull my arms, my pits down, as I widen my rib cage to the left and to the right. I also very subtly puff or stick out the space between my shoulder blades like this. All right, so often in class you'll get the front rib cage down cue. The front rib cage down cue is intended to make that puff happen. So what I'll get you to do at home is take one hand and chop yourself below the chest. So just kind of give yourself a karate chop underneath the chest and let that reverb or poke out through your back. So as I hit myself on the front, I make that little space behind me. That's the idea. So you're constantly being tapped in the front of the rib cage so that you can mattress more energy out your middle back. Cut in the front, there's more mattress, more muscle in my back because of it. So think all of that through. The hand pulley thing, the arm down thing, and now fill in the middle back like you're being chopped underneath your chest, just below the chest. Okay, so that's pretty difficult. That's what you want. But then your arms are here in a plank pose, but your arms will be right about here. So not over your head, not out in front of your chest. They'll be right about here in a downward dog. So I'm going to take the bend out of my wrists for a second, just neutralize my wrists. And then you can watch and do, or watch and then do. I'm going to translate my arms out of my body. So this is a non-integrated arm. And then I'm going to suck the arm bones back and descend my shoulder blades down. So do it with an exaggeration. Let your fingertips pull your arms out of body. The arm bones slide forwards. Suck your arm bones into your body and then feel your shoulder blades pulling down towards your butt. That's your lower trap strength. The end of the diamond of your traps. You can visibly see the upper part of the triangle, your upper traps. You're trying to wake up the lower traps every time that you insist that that shoulder blade goes down your back. So, let's do a good plank pose. Have your hands beneath your shoulders, or tabletop to begin, hands beneath shoulders. Climb one leg back at a time. Knee is perfectly straight, and you're sort of dangling on the toes, the ball of your foot. Do that on both sides. You can touch the toes together. Now, in your plank pose, feel that wideness in your rib cage. Let it puff to the left and to the right. I just did that. Pull your wrists and your armpits back towards your feet in this scenario. That was the arm karate chop. And then puff your middle back a little bit towards the ceiling. Good, so that's that chop of the part just beneath your chest, your upper rib cage going into your body and a little bit down towards your feet. Down dog. Try to recreate it. Some of that strength will have been lost. Pull your armpits towards your feet. Push your middle back a little bit to the ceiling, and only maybe do you lean your legs back and away. So anytime that you are in a downward dog, you're pushing your middle back, this part of you, towards the front of the room, towards the teacher perhaps, and then just lightly leaning your thighs back. But you're more concerned about pushing your pits towards your feet, lifting your middle back, being imaginary cut in the front of the rib cage. That's your downward dog. Try it out. Quick review. This sensation, pulling the fingers apart, widens your rib cage. This sensation, cutting your arm down into that false pressure or that self-assist of your own hand, wakes up your lat, which helps stabilize the side of your body. What else do we do? Tapping yourself just below the chest helps to cushion and make that nice bump in the middle back. Nothing too overwhelming, but you're just redistributing some energy with that. And then little lessons in pulling the shoulder blades down towards your hips. Good reminders of lower trap muscles. So all of those things together can be found in a plank pose. Then you just lift your ass into the air. That's downward dog. Thanks.